Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Speeder Man. I'm Drunken Dan.
Oh, man.
Just so you know, Sabo might randomly appear again, because Sabo said he'd be back in a couple minutes, and we waited 20.
20 is a couple.
Actually, 21, to be exact. I just looked at the clock.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 21 is the couple, and I was like, I'm pretty sure 2 is the official definition of a couple.
Yeah, it is. Also, for the audience, I was talking to Train about this. I'm going to be doing the DLC stuff in recording, but I'm going to be playing it on my own pretty much probably after I'm done recording this, because I need to get it done so I at least know the story beats. There is still stuff in this game I want to do on my own, like I was telling you, because I do want to do the Taskmaster stuff, because I do want to still fight him on my own. And there's a lot of content I still want to get into in this game. It's really good.
There's a lot of content.
I think it's just more of because I'm playing it each week. It's that thing where it's like, I'm not burned out, but it's like, I don't want to play it as much as, say, something else.
Well, I think the problem is when you're doing it specifically for, like, recording, it's like, there's the sort of thing of you don't want to play through things that you could save for recording, for instance.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a bit of an interesting week.
Congratulations, Captain. You got the city
new FF7 trailer dropped.
Yeah, we now see what Red 13 looks like.
And sounds like.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dog. It sounds like a good doggo. Man, it's gonna get it's probably gonna be less awkward in FF in the remake when you first meet Red 13. It's like, what's your name? Oh, just call me whatever, Red 13. And then like you get halfway through the game and it's like, oh, by the way, my name's actually like Nataku or something, or Nanaki.
And everyone just looks and goes, but you're Red 13.
No, but you're Red 13, so shut the fuck up, doggo.
Oh.
Unless you read ahead and you were like, yeah, I'll just call him Nanaki. Man, though, Red 13's backstory is so kind of funny to me. Because it's like mega fucked up. Because it's like, yeah, he spends his entire life hating his father, who he thought was a mega coward. And then like his adopted grandpa was like, he like died saving you, right? Yeah, like you could have told us this like 50 years ago, Granddad.
No.
Well, it didn't occur to me. I mean, I know you repeatedly said you hated him. Well, I didn't think you were serious. I thought it was just a bit.
I thought it was jokes.
I thought it was just the sick pants, Nanaki.
I thought you were having a laugh. I thought it was a goof. I thought it was a prank, bro.
See, your father really loved those pranks. But no, it looked good, so we'll have to. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what the delay was about. Unlike what?
Like I said, there's a number, like 100 different reasons why it could have got delayed.
Yeah. I mean, you can't say. I mean, on the one hand, I was going to say, well, you should at least like say, but Square's clearly not doing crunch. It's like, I mean, they're not technically doing crunch because Japanese development is nothing but crunch.
It's true.
So like, they're not doing crunch by virtue of they're always doing crunch. That's their secret.
Oops, all crunch.
It's like the worst cereal imaginable.
Really is.
But yeah.
Crunchitize me, Captain. No, please don't.
Ooh, so ominous.
But yeah.
But yeah. Well, don't forget, it was obviously delayed because of Persona 5.
My friend theorizes that FF7 was delayed because Square were afraid to compete with Persona 5 or Persona 5 The Royal. It's like even though that's specifically Persona 5 The Royal's Western release.
Yeah, it's been out for a while in Japan.
Which means that half of that market's not even getting it. And also, it's fucking FF7. Like, I'm sorry, that is the game that you delay to avoid. Not,
yeah.
That's the game that...
Just ask Cyberpunk.
Like, you basically need to be like... You basically need to be something that is like Grand Theft Auto level of, oh shit, this is gonna make money, in order to, like, not be intimidated by FF7.
Yeah, you have to be a pretty big game. Oh, hello, Sabo.
Hello.
We're in the middle of recording because we waited a little over 20 minutes and I said, fuck it.
I'm getting by.
I don't know how I feel about you running this.
So anyway, we're talking about Final Fantasy VII, and we were making jokes about a friend of his who thinks that, who theorized that Final Fantasy VII delayed because they were afraid of Persona 5.
No.
I mean, I'll just say it was
Martin I
Sam.
know couldn't have done that.
Yeah, and I want to point out to the audience, just to prove a point, I am a Persona fan when I say that there's no way that they would be worried about Persona by hitting the home button. Hey, look, my background is Persona. So anyway,
I mean,
Friends with MJ.
I don't think anyone can reasonably argue because it's not a matter of the quality of the games or the franchise. Final Fantasy is a huge, like, billion-dollar franchise or million-dollar franchise, and FF7 is literally one of the most beloved games of all time. And a lot of people are crazy hyped for the remake.
they've been waiting for Final Fantasy VII Remake since like the PS2.
So
Does she know the real you?
it's just no, like, you'd have to basically be like halfway through or something to match that. So
Yeah, it's
no game would delay, like, there's no game FF7 would delay for to avoid fighting.
other than like something like GTA or something like that.
Yeah, but even then, I think they'd still.
But even then, probably not, because it's not really the same kind of game, so it's not really a competition type of thing.
Plus, also
Like I understand Cyberpunk or like Persona if they want like Cyberpunk like going away because it's still a big action RPG kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real. If I was making an action RPG, I would not want to fucking release next to Final Fantasy.
Because regardless,
I know what was it? You remember KG? Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He was like, he kind of disagreed with me because I was like, no, I understand why they did it, because honestly, it is kind of a crazy, stupid move to release your RPG next to Final Fantasy. And he's like, oh, but they should do it because it encourages competition. I'm like, no, that's a death sentence.
No, it just encourages minimized sales.
Yeah.
Like,
and because Cyberpunk is a new thing, it's got hype behind it, but it's still a new thing. It's not going to garner the attention as Final Fantasy, and it would definitely lose out sales on it because you putting two games of two different genres, like releasing your different genre game near another game is fine because you're going to still get your audience that wouldn't play play Final Fantasy. Like releasing an FPS next to Final Fantasy, you're not really gonna. It's not gonna affect you as much. Like there's still gonna be some people that be like, I'm gonna get Final Fantasy instead. Because, there are people that play multiple genres. Hello, how are you doing? That's me. But it's not as detrimental as, like, releasing an RPG next to a major RPG.
I mean...
But I'm not completely insane, so...
Yeah, no, it's, as I said, FF7 is not the game that delays itself. Because it's afraid. It doesn't afraid of anything to like bring back an old meme.
Cowboy Bebop is a pretty cool guy.
Oh, right.
Old memes. Oh, hi, JJ.
Man, was it you who I told my like casting choice for a replacement JJ2?
I don't
Brian
know
Cranston.
If you told me. Brian Cranston.
I mean, I could hear it.
I'm not like big on actors, so.
Breaking Bad guy, Malcolm in the Middle guy.
Oh yeah. You're right.
He could totally do it, and a lot of that might be helped by the fact that this JJVA, when he screams, gets like the same sort of twinge that Brian Cranston does when he screams.
You're right. Yeah. Now that you say it, I can definitely. Yeah. Now that you said it, and now I'm thinking about it, I can definitely see it.
So. But yeah, that's been kind of my. Whenever people say, "Oh, you can't replace J.K. Simmons," it's like, well, you could though. You're just unwilling.
I mean, you can replace any actor. Like, you just have to find the right person. There are just actors who are like really good or really good fits, but it doesn't mean you can't find somebody else. It's just a little harder. Like finding a replacement Wolverine, which will happen. There are people people have already started picking out people that would be decent replacements for Hugh Jackman. And realistically, if I'm gonna be a smartass, Hugh Jackman was a great pick, but perfect I wouldn't say because he's not short.
Yeah, he's much taller than most of his companions. It gets real weird when he's taller than Colossus, who's meant to throw him.
Yeah, so, for those of you who might not have realized, is that Wolverine in the comics and shows is actually incredibly short.
Yeah.
He is not a tall man at all.
He's like,
because that was part of the thing that made him. That's part of the thing that also made him popular when he was fighting fucking Hulk to a standstill. Because it was just this little scrappy thing, i.e., like a Wolverine, fighting the Hulk and holding his own.
I mean, it's what happens when you're basically immortal.
Yeah.
Bit of a cheap way to win, actually. Well, not win.
To be fair, it's the Hulk, and that's also a cheap
Yeah, and
way to
he's
win.
also basically immortal, so... You know, Hulk smash.
And his power of, I get stronger when the writer feels like it. I mean, when I get angrier.
As my rage increases, so does my strength, except when it doesn't.
Exactly.
But yeah. There are, but yeah. I mean, let's be honest. If they're gonna replace Wolverine, I think they'll go for the X-23 version of Wolverine.
The what version of Wolverine?
The current X-23 version.
Well, no, she hasn't been Wolverine in a while now.
Oh, did they already undo that?
They did that a while ago.
Oh wait, did they undo it once they got the rights back?
Well, I mean, they undid it when they undid a lot of things, like when they undid Femme of Thor and all that.
God.
The movies are behind the comics in regards to stuff like this.
I mean, I fucking hated Lady Thor.
It wasn't. It's one of those things where it got a little better, but it was never quite that great. It was just, and it was honestly, like we talked about before, Valkyrie would have been the better choice. We've talked about this before.
Yes.
Regardless of iteration, Valkyrie would be the better choice for the Femme Thor if you wanted to do Femme Thor.
Well, you know, just
but
sit.
you know that's not what they did.
Like, there's plenty of options they could have gone with, but
Yeah, there's plenty of like really good options. Like Valkyrie is probably like the best one, but they're like. The one they picked, like an obscure fucking love interest who hadn't been in the comics in years, that wouldn't have been any choice.
well, it's because it's like, you remember after Crisis when they decided? Oh, actually, that's another thing I have to talk about. They decided that Aquaman had to not be Arthur Curry, but was like actually the half god thing that was that Atlanta was impregnated with, alongside his half brother, and they were like. Not half human, half Atlantean, but like half deity thing. And he was called Orin.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
There's that dumb shit. So I'm glad that got fixed. Actually, I guess I could talk about that. I watched Aquaman this last week as well for the first time.
Oh, what'd you think of it?
It's kind of hard to say because there's like it's stupid, but it's like you know what I find the most sort of interesting, like almost fascinating aspect about it. Is it's like not at all embarrassed as to what it is.
Yeah, so the DC's best superhero movies are the ones that are just like, yeah, we're a superhero movie.
No, but I mean like to a weird extent. So like, there's a news report at the start where they just flat out say, "Oh yeah, he's Aquaman," and it's like, okay, so you just admit his superhero code name, okay, and then all the fucking like comic designs get like incredibly accurate renditions in the movie. Like Mira has her green like scale suit thing.
Yeah, because I've seen some of them, and I'm like, holy shit, this looks like the comics.
Black Manta looks like Black Manta. Aquaman even gets his orange shirt and green pants. Fucking Ocean Master gets his dumbass helmet.
Right, I'm on it.
Like, there is, like, no point in that film where they are even remotely embarrassed at what they are, which is kind of, I realise, a big problem with superhero movies, and that the admit what we are, which is a funny book movie.
Yeah, a lot of them just don't want to admit that they're just a funny book movie.
It's like, what's the character's name?
I mean, and what's funny with the Marvel ones, they started to be less embarrassed, then they started to be embarrassed again.
Yeah.
Like, cause you had like Guardians of the Galaxy was them becoming less embarrassed, and then they started getting embarrassed again, and now we have this weird fucking like grunt G.I. Joe looking motherfucker that they're calling Taskmaster.
I mean, sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm still really bitter about
Assuming
that.
it's not a woman, of course.
I don't care if it is or not. It's terrible.
Well, no, but then she'd be Lady J. Looking motherfucker.
Hey, don't besmirch Lady J like this. Lady J has a design.
Hey, I never watched
this is like a background.
Watched G.I. Joe. I've never seen anything G.I. Joe related. But you know why?
Fair.
Because G.I. Joe doesn't have zone defense.
Fucking.
It can always get worse.
That's my curse from now on. Zone defense. Ever since the fucking boss fight in Transformer Devastator, I'm gonna be on my fucking deathbed, and I'm just gonna have someone crawl up to me and be like, "Yo, zone defense though."
You need that zone defense. You think it's your curse? It's my curse to forever, like, just... So you know how, like, Red Letter Media Mike is to Star Trek? I'm that to so many things. Where just it doesn't matter context. It's like, yeah, but how about that Mirakuru though?
That is definitely one of your curses. Oh shit! I got hit by one of the grenades.
I just can't.
Oh god, that sucks. This sucks. Oh god.
I just can't let these things go. But yeah, Aquaman was enjoyable and surprisingly not at all embarrassed about its own concept. I mean, it's silly, obviously, but it's a funny book movie, and I actually really like the guy. Really like I can't remember his name, and I feel bad now. But the guy who plays Aquaman, who was in Game of Thrones, he's an asshole, but you know, he's a likable asshole, like Guy Gardner.
Like, but yeah, Aquaman is definitely one of those movies I want to see because like I've seen stuff of it, and I'm like, this looks like what I wanted. Sabo's dead.
Yep.
Sabo's back.
I'm guessing you.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you weren't responding to you talking.
Yeah, I was like, are you guys ignoring me?
No.
No.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Actually, at one point I was thinking like, wow, he's quiet.
I thought you. I was like, it's weird that they're talking over me, and I just answered his question 3 times, and he did not acknowledge that whatsoever.
Sorry. Answer the question then for me.
I was like, his name is Jason Momoa. He's
That was it, Jason Momoa. Thank you. I knew he was I knew he was like, is it Maui? He is specifically. But yeah, I knew that. I just couldn't remember his exact name because I only have because it's that thing where you like people become more well known for the character. People sort of get stuck in your head for the characters they play rather than the name of the actor.
Let's go.
Right, Urkel?
Sucks, but yeah.
Oh, you were just ignoring me because I suggested watching G.I. Joe.
Oh. No, I mean,
No.
I'm not opposed to it.
I mean,
G.I. Joe's fun.
I mean, if you like laughing at G1, you'll like laughing at G.I. Joe because it's basically the same show.
Yeah, kinda. It's definitely a fun watch.
The same VAs and often the same voices. It's just that instead of robots, they're army guys
With laser guns.
with laser guns.
You want to build them.
Also, I want to point out the insanity of Lady J's arsenal being a handgun and fucking javelins, and somehow she can take out a fucking metal turret with a javelin.
But they're not regular javelins, they're Hawkeye javelins.
You okay?
Like,
Still, though.
they explode or, like, they hack things.
Does she have a boxing
put
glove
it-
javelin?
That's when they remember that's what they do, because sometimes she'll just hit something with it and it'll just knock it the fuck off. It depends on how they're feeling that day. Because it's an 80s cartoon.
Like, I'll hit it with a force field javelin, and then like she hits it with a javelin that sticks a force field around something. I was like, okay.
Got it. I'll go join the party.
It was basically like Green Arrow, except for without the bow.
Yeah, except instead of bows, it's just javelins.
Man,
She just chucks them. Fuck the bow. I'll just throw it.
you know what I really want? I want a live-action version of Green Arrow that hangs out with Batman, and then it's just that one comic page happens. You know the one.
Is it the Arrow Cave?
Yeah. Good God, man, have you ever had an original thought in your life?
Oh, actually, I remember there was a gag with that where Harley's like, "Why don't you call it the Quiver?" And he's just like, "Ha, ha! Why don't I call it the Quiver?"
I mean, he's never had an original thought in his life.
Like, say what you will about like about how like comics kind of have been bouncing back and forth lately about making Harley a villain or a hero. She's kind of hit that same. She's starting to hit that weird Venom status.
Well, I would liken her more for like DC's Deadpool at this point.
Kinda, she's kind of becoming that.
The difference.
It doesn't help that Marvel made Gwenpool, which was basically them trying to make Harley Quinn, but also Gwen.
Yeah, it's a shame because Gwenpool is written by a guy I quite like.
And unfortunately, those books aren't really good.
Yeah.
I tried them. I really did. Like, I went in, like, oh, okay, let's try this out, see if this is alright, and I just didn't like it.
It's just Girl Deadpool, which might have been fine, except we literally had that exact same pro. I fucking...
Like, the reason I like Spider-Gwen is because she's not identical to Peter in the way that she acts and moves around. That's why I like her, and that's actually why I like Miles as well, at least how Miles is nowadays.
God. Can we actually talk about Lady Deadpool for a second? The fucking cowardice on that.
Fucking Lady Deadpool. I forgot. I forget Lady Deadpool's a thing.
No, but...
So, if you want to talk about it, go ahead.
Specifically, the only thing I was going to talk about is that when she first debuts, yeah, they say, like, her face is as fucked up as Deadpool's is, because she's also got, you know, infinite cancer like he does. And then like
Right.
when she gets like her own book, like miniseries, they
They give her a pretty face.
yeah, they instantly like fix her face. It's like, you cowards.
There's so many. There's actually that's a thing in fiction in general where a lot of things are really cowardly with the idea of giving a woman any kind of scar or like anything that would make them not conventionally attractive. You can't see me do the finger motion, but I assure you I did the finger motion because it's a cutscene.
Good. It's just like such.
And it's one of the dumbest. It's just dumb. It's like, wow, you guys are fucking cowards.
Speaking of dumb, before recording we were talking about like, because I mentioned before I've been watching Smallville in the background as like this sort of intimate curiosity thing as to how the show went when I finished it. And we were specifically talking about how like Darkseid at the end of that is a fart cloud monster.
Yeah.
Like,
That, as was the tradition of that era.
yeah,
Just
remember-
like Galactus.
and Parallax.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier, actually.
But don't forget Parallax. Never forget Parallax, guys.
How can I remember Parallax?
That would require DC to remember Green Lantern.
Who?
I will say, the best episode of the final season of Smallville is the Booster Gold episode.
I told you it was.
I mean, it's a Booster Gold episode.
Yeah, but it also
Booster
has
Gold's
Hy-
great and
yeah, but
everything.
It also has Jaime in it.
Holy shit, Jaime.
It's like,
And there's-
they're so desperate for stuff to put in this final season. They're like, all right, let's put in Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, sure.
But Booster's entire plan is he's going to come to Metropolis before Clark outs himself as Superman, so he can do everything he would do and be the Earth's greatest hero.
Genius.
And it's like, and then there's actually an almost Clark Kent moment where Clark's like, yeah, maybe you should just like focus on being a hero by your own merits and not by other people's merits. And it's like, oh wow, you actually got it for a second show.
Maybe you should just call yourself the Blur and not let anyone actually see you.
Maybe you should,
Pretend
maybe you
you're
should
a
wear
big
that
boy.
dumb. I fucking love that the suit was silly with that fucking awful red leather jacket with the raised shield was somehow that's okay. That's cool. It's like
As was the style at the time.
no, it wasn't the style at the time. Black leather was the style at the time.
You're right. I'm sorry.
You know who wore red leather?
Actually, yeah. Now that you mention that, I'm thinking about it. It's like, yeah, everything was like black leather back then.
You know who wore red leather? The fucking Terminatrix from Terminator 3. Did you really want to be associated
Yeah.
with Terminator 3?
Yeah, like now you say it, like I'm thinking about it, it's like, yeah, everything was like black leather back like in in that
The
era.
Dark Ages.
Like-
we didn't call them the Dark Ages just because it was all edge. It was also because everyone wore black.
Yeah. I remember I wore a lot of black back in that era too.
I mean, black as a color itself is fine because it's like it goes with anything and blah blah blah. But it's still just it does create the unfortunate position of like, well, all the X-Men, for instance, are wearing their black jumpsuits thanks to the movie. Because it's like you can't have Wolverine, you know, the invincible midget Canadian with like metal claws and a skeleton, like dressed silly. That'd be ridiculous. You're not taking Wolverine seriously.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about that before, like how, especially, they were even more embarrassed to be comic booky back then, where, like, all the X-Men were just wearing these shitty black leather suits. I remember as a kid, and I mentioned before, too, as a kid, that pissed me off that they were all wearing black leather suits.
The problem is it's like, yes, it creates a uniform for everyone, but it also means that everyone's no longer I mean, only like two of them could be distinctive, and of the two of them, one of them's like Cyclops because he has his visor.
Yeah.
And I guess Nightcrawler because he's a blue man. Man. So yeah, that whole sort of black suit era was sucky. Because it wasn't even the cool black suit that Spider-Man had.
Yeah. I mean, they did attempt that. Yes. I remember as a kid, I saw that scene, and I was like, yes.
Yes, wear the fucking suit. And then you get that tease at the end of that one Wolverine movie, and it's like, or the deleted scene from that one Wolverine movie, and it's like, wear the fucking suit, Jackman. That's
Wear
you
it.
know what? That's why Days of Future Past happened. You didn't wear the fucking suit.
It's all his fault.
You should have been like, Gene, where's my super suit? But yeah, speaking of other like things I watched The Death of Superman on TV finally. And it's actually probably the best adaptation of that storyline I've seen.
Oh, is this the newer
Yeah.
one where it's like a two-part movie?
Yeah, the second half, well, where it's Reign of Superman, kind of dragged, but that's because they edit it into like a 3-hour movie. So it's like, ugh. You get to it and you're just like, yes. And also because Reign of the Superman wasn't a particularly great storyline.
Nah.
Like Death of Superman, great. Reign of the Superman, not great, less great.
Speaking of death, Spider-Man's fuck.
I mean, it's not a Spider-Man thing if he's not horribly, horribly beaten.
It's true. This is the first time in this game though where he gets horribly, horribly beaten. not the last time though. Whee!
Ha.
It's also not a Spider-Man thing until his suit's been trashed.
Well, yeah, wait, I think this one doesn't get trashed until the next beating.
Yeah, but it's,
And then it's trashed, and then he makes a thing.
which also gets trashed.
Your debts will be repaid when we're done.
I mean, that's how you also have to do it. The ending of like a Spider-Man like arc is that the suit has to get fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's a superhero thing in general, where the suit just gets fucked by the end.
What's more notable with Spider-Man because his suit is one of the few like all-over suits.
Yeah.
But I just mean it is like fairly consistent. Like other people have managed to maintain the majority of their suits, but Spider-Man pretty consistently would just lose most of the suit, especially the mask.
Yeah.
He'll definitely lose.
Well, the mask. Yeah, the mask he usually loses.
That always gets the sort of at least damage. That always gets damaged, if not just completely torn off.
Yeah. Norman Osborn, a name you can trust. Yes, correct.
I mean,
totally.
you can trust him to do some things, like invade Asgard. To stage his own son's murder to garner sympathy points.
It's true.
Create a clone.
I mean,
Have sex with Gwen Stacy and impregnate her with twins.
You know, I think I might have mentioned this in recording. So the guy who runs my comic shop, he's an older guy, and I mentioned that as a joke, and he says, "You don't talk about that in my store." So he fucking hated that.
Well, hey, what about that time he made a clone of Spider-Man just to fuck with Spider-Man? So he could have, like, Spider-Man have this whole, like, crisis on, were you the real one, were you not the real one? Just so he... It's like that scene in Justice League Unlimited where Lex Luthor's like, yes, that's right, I spent like $70 million on a presidential campaign just to tick Superman off. It's basically that I spent the...
You know, I just had a thought. So, Doc Ock broke the fucking virus thing before putting on the mask. So why the fuck isn't he dying?
Because he has a cure.
no.
Because
Wait,
he
I don't
didn't
think
breathe
he
it
said
in, because he held his breath. Because the
Wait, but putting on the mask though would gather up some of the spores
no,
there.
What you don't understand is the tentacles filter his blood.
I don't think that's a thing.
I mean, makes about as much sense as putting an AI system in them for some reason.
An AI system that's smarter than he is.
An AI system, yes, an AI system that like.
I don't think it has an AI system in this game.
No.
No, I'm just thinking back to Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
Let's put an AI system that's smarter and malevolent than these robot arms that I don't really need to do precise work.
Well, Aunt May was just coughing up blood. I'm sure that's fine.
That's just
Hey,
fine.
that's just That's just New York life for you. All the pollution.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh look, it's the worst character. I mean, Mary Jane. Wait, why did I correct that?
I mean, is this even really Mary Jane when you think about it?
We'll just call.
We'll
what should
call
we
her Lana Lang.
That's kind of mean to Lana Lang. Or is it?
No.
I don't know.
Depends on the Lana.
I mean, the actual comics Lana was
I mean, she was
okay.
she basically was there so that Lois could like, oh no, what if Superman doesn't fuck me? Shit.
She was
What
basically
if Superman fucks this redhead instead?
no. I mean, Lana was basically just existed like so that when they did the pre-Superman days, he could have a love interest, even though he's not supposed to meet Lois until.
No,
he
but
goes
Lana
to
was
the
like
planet.
also introduced in like when he's an adult as literally a rival to Lois.
Oh, was
'Cause
she?
they-
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, originally she was that. Then later she got turned into his childhood friend.
so that it was specifically so they could like basically do Betty and Veronica before Betty and Veronica.
Hey, let's just remember though, if we're gonna go by the that one episode where Superman has the fucking thing on him that makes him see his greatest desires. Let's just point out that he's married to Lois, but with Lana's hair.
Well, I mean,
Get back to work.
man, I fucking love that episode so much.
Oh, it's a really
To
good
the point
episode.
I was mad when I watched the Justice League really skimmed over that episode, and it's like, man,
It's one of the best episodes.
it has like when you have like Superman just going happy. Do you have any idea what I've lost? And like he just viciously beats Mongol.
Yeah.
Burn.
It's like, man, that episode's great. It's one of my favorites alongside
They did. I mean, they did a storyline like that before with Batman, but I kind of like that one from Justice League with Superman a little bit better because they did that with Batman, where Mad Hatter put him in one of those things, and then he figured it out because
I mean,
of.
it's based on it's based on the Alan Moore comic with the same name, and in fact, most of the dialogue of the episode is lifted straight from the comic.
Yeah.
The only
The only
real
difference is Wonder Woman is there and Jason Todd isn't, which is 100% improvement in my eyes.
I mean, the only other major difference is that they make Krypton a more likable place. Like the Krypton in the comic book is like basically undergoing like a race riots,
Oh yeah.
whereas in this it's like just heavily implied that as this one in the cartoon version, it's the more Clark realizes it's not real, the more Krypton starts to re-explode, and then you get
That's pretty cool.
the other thing that the cartoon can do that the comic can't do is there's a point where Clark's talking to Jor-El, and for the briefest moment Jor-El speaks with Jonathan Kent's voice, and so Clark's like, wait, what? No, yeah, it's a real good rendition of that storyline. It's probably the best you could ever. It's probably the best adaptation you ever get of it. Even Alan Moore, like, I'm not gonna say he. Like, the common quote is to say that he prefers it to his, but I think the actual quote is that he is okay with it.
The actual
really
quote,
likes
the
it,
actual quote is
basically.
it's the only adaptation of his work ever that he's been like, yeah, they did a pretty good job as opposed to it's the worst thing ever and it's terrible and I hate comics. You all need to grow
Yeah.
up. I'm Alan Moore and I hate everyone.
Now, if you excuse me, I need to go pray to my snake god and fap and out of a wank over old lady porn. What? Nothing I said was libelous. Actually, it would be slander. That's all true. It is 100% true. You know it.
I'm sorry?
What? The snake god thing?
Yeah, I don't know about this stuff.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna say it's part of a cult, but he's like, it's this thing where he like worships the snake deity. And he and his wife specifically did a erotic comic book about aged up. And when I say aged up, I don't mean like, 20s thing of like classic literature style. It's just like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, except it's like mixed with Golden Girls, and also erotic. Surprised you never heard of this.
So my tracker picked up some more people who were at the party and might have gotten.
Yeah, no, this is I did not.
Alan Moore's a crazy man.
Didn't show for
I mean, I'm not surprised. It's cray cray.
There's other pics from the same location and he's gone.
As I said, I can't remember the specific name of snake deity he prays to, or he might not do it anymore, but he definitely did. Or he at least said he did.
The picture shows elevated train tracks.
And am I really one to like disagree with Alan Moore about his own beliefs? Yes. Yes, I am, but no, I won't.
That's good.
It's like when I say I'm not one to judge, but I am completely one to judge.
I'm one to judge, but I'm going to judge you horribly right now.
Yeah. I mean, I like Alan Moore. He's done a lot of great storylines. He is also a crazy man.
A delayed reaction.
And
Sometimes that happens,
There could be corrupt
where it's like, yeah, he did great work. He's also completely batshit.
I think these tracks are in East Harlem.
so, yeah. At least he's a character, I suppose. But yeah, it's as I said, the cartoon, apart from those like minor differences, is almost a one-for-one like retelling of that comic.
Yeah, it's really good. I was just saying, like, they did something similar with Batman in the original series
thing where,
with the Mad Hatter.
The thing where Mad Hatter puts him in the illusion. I mean, it's a common like trope. I think specifically, if we're going by TV tropes, it's a Lotus Eater machine.
Yeah, I
The
think.
fantasy that's better than reality, but the protagonist has to break away from that to accept the harsh truth.
Yeah.
I mean, the harsh
They didn't
truth is
tell
that
Zebra-
Bruce Wayne gets to be a billionaire playboy genius.
Corruption is frightening.
a lot of the a lot of them too. What they do is there's something that happens that clues them in to it being a fiction. Like wasn't Tales of Berseria for Velvet? What clues her in is the fact that she can taste something, and she's like, "Wait, I lost the ability to taste," and then she realized everything was a fake.
I see elevated train tracks.
It was on the ruse.
Avengers Tower is so cool.
But yeah, I remember that from that series, and I remember little things here and there. But
And
yeah, for Superman, I'm trying to remember what it was that made him figure it out.
oh, what in For the Man Who Has Everything?
Literally.
Yeah, I can't remember what his was.
Not specifically that. The implication is that a part of him always knows it's not real. It's just a matter of is he willing to accept it. And it's as he goes through, and like as I said, there's the point where Jor-El speaks in his voice, and speaks in Jonathan Kent's voice, and just the hanging out with his son Vaughn. And Krypton's like becoming more and more unstable, and it's like implied that he's fighting against the Black Mercy.
This is it.
And then when it gets to the like sort of the end where he's like, "The son, I don't think you're real." Because I mean, even Mongoose like not really surprised he broke free of the Black Mercy. He just points out that he fashioned a prison for him that he couldn't escape without giving up his heart's desire. It would be like tearing off your own arm.
Someone gets hurt a lot worse.
Basically did it to be a dick.
Well,
He's like, yeah, I bet you'll do it, but fuck you.
sort of. I think the plan was give the Black Mercy to Superman. He'll be incapacitated and long enough for Mongol to kill him or destroy the world or both. But unfortunately for him, Wonder Woman and Batman turned up, and Jason Todd in the comic.
Also, he just kind of like, sits there, like, laughing at him.
Yeah.
Like, ha ha ha, he's under the Black Mercy spell. Like, why didn't he just kill him right then and there if that was his
Well, I
plan?
think he even says that he wants to destroy the world so Superman can see, because he's pissed that Superman outbeat him at Warworld, or knocked him off his throne at Warworld.
Well, then he better get to destroying the world, not just sitting in the fortress laughing at him.
Besides, you don't know how long it was between Superman opening up the present and Wonder Woman arriving. Maybe it was like 3 seconds.
He's like, now to get ready to. Why the fuck are you here? It's his birthday. Would you think I wasn't gonna be here?
Kryptonian, I give you oblivion.
I mean, if it was his birthday, why was he spending it alone in his ice fortress, and why did only two fellow superheroes show up?
Because they got to man. Some people got to stay behind to man the watchtower. Maybe the others were going to come in.
They had 30 people at that point.
Maybe other people were going to pop in later, like John,
Or maybe he was there waiting for his superhero friends, and he has two parties.
Martian Manhunter can't leave comms because it's not until it's not until he leaves that Mr. Terrific takes over.
To be fair, he could. He just didn't want to. And then when he does, he's like, I'm not going back anymore.
I'm gonna go. Fuck you, people. I'm gonna go get myself a wife.
So maybe you should switch to decaf.
An elderly wife.
I mean, he's like thousands of years old, so he can't complain.
Yeah.
He's like 600 years old. It's not thousands.
Well, he's incredibly old.
He's significantly older than anyone else, but yeah.
Oh no, I give him props. He wasn't going for some like young thing. He was like, nah. Well, I actually activated a side mission because I saw a sniper on a tower. Whoops.
Gonna take out them snippers. Sniping's a good job, mate.
That was a good job, mate. Outdoors, lots of work.
Unfortunately, his VO like quit almost instantly. And
he still like pops around for TF2 stuff.
oh, really? Because I thought
When they update.
like he basically did, and that's why Sniper is in like the least amount of.
Because like he had special lines for like the when they did the bird Halloween things, like where he's like, "Hoot, hoot, I'm an owl."
Because I thought he quit, and
Like
that
they
was
were
specifically why Sniper's not in any of the other like videos. Or he is, but he doesn't have a speaking role beyond just reusing dialogue and things from.
I think they just didn't want to use him. He wasn't as funny as Heavy and Scout were, I guess.
Well, yeah, they were the heavy scout and soldier. He wasn't nearly as popular as the. Well, he wasn't really. He was like one of the ones that weren't as funny, and I think like the engineer like shares voices with one of the other ones.
I mean,
so you know,
I mean, you
they
don't
kind
see
of have
Devilman
him.
in any of the other ones either. So
You see, no, he's in a couple of the other ones.
does he have a major speaking part?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I'd have to watch these all again, and that's a lot of time, and I don't feel like doing that.
Why do people still play that game?
What, TF2?
I do.
Yeah.
Because well, it's one of those things where it's like it's free to play and like it's already got a fan base, so.
And it didn't like cripple itself like Overwatch.
Instead, Valve just decided to do nothing and print money.
Yeah, they're like, well, let's just make hats for TF2 forever.
But... No, but there's a Half-Life VR game coming out. That's the Half-Life property people really want to see, guys.
Is it just an actual joke that like they're never going to do that game? Or...
Well, the fact that the head writer quit in disgust and basically...
Well, apparently there's talks again now because the Alex game did well.
What I was going to say is that I think considering the head writer quit the project in disgust and posted the like basic rundown of what it would have been online, kind of implies that.
Except for didn't call it like
well,
that.
he changed.
We're probably gonna get it, but it's gonna be. I think now we're probably gonna get it because they're now talking about making games again, which I think is probably because of the Epic Store, to be honest.
Guys, this isn't necessary. I'm already scared straight.
Because you know they can just make by doing this they can actually fucking make their exclusives.
I mean, it could just do the Epic. I feel like Valve has more money than Epic.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, really? You think since Valve basically has a monopoly?
Tencent.
Oh right, yeah, Tencent.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, you gotta remember Tencent.
I was gonna say because you think since Valve basically has a monopoly. But yeah.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, back up here. Great. Okay. You guys
Oh.
stay to, and I'll see
Jesus
you
Christ, these guys are coming out of the
I
woodwork.
mean, that's Sable guys for you.
Oh, these aren't even disabled, these are just
Oh,
thugs.
that's thugs for you.
Well, escaped convicts.
I mean, you know the crime rate in New York's terrible.
Yeah.
Especially in comic book New York.
I'm gonna say, I mean, I go to New York, and I'm pretty sure there isn't a mugging on every street corner. Much to my disappointment, because I have like my hoodie all ready to go.
Do you mug people though?
Maybe he's the one doing the mugging.
Yeah, you never see muggers getting mugged.
No, I'm the one. I'm the one who's gonna get mugged if my sister is any indication. Considering
Why?
I've told you about how blatantly tourist I look like compared to a New
Oh
Yorker.
yeah. Oh yeah.
reinforcements here. Just people. You dig?
Well, you just need to shout, "Oh, I'm walking here."
Yeah, I guess I could.
There you go. Yeah, so you're a full-blooded New Yorker.
That's how you become a New Yorker.
Walking.
Or you know you.
Hey,
Well, you know, you just
I'm
say
a New
that,
Yorker
or you
now.
just-
Hey, bada bing, bada boom, mozzarella supreme.
Well, you know, you just say stuff about 9/11.
Yeah, leave it.
That doesn't
Oh.
really work anymore.
Yeah, it's a little.
Coronavirus.
That's not really New York.
I mean, there was a point where like implying anything related to like buildings or 9/11 or anything would make the people just have to start having panic attacks, but that's long past. They're kind of over it by now.
Oh, no.
They moved away.
Man, I was actually thinking.
Yeah, people get
I
bored.
was actually thinking on it. It's so tragic that all the Spider-Man cartoons got sort of mega fucked over. All the good ones, I should specify.
I think that stuff
We're not allowed to have
So
good
all
things.
Just because of 9/11. That's just because
No, I was just changing the topic because it's like, well, what do you say about 9/11?
it happened. It was terrible. The end.
Nah, leave.
Now we have to worry about the coronavirus killing us all instead.
You mean just like swine flu
Yes.
and bird flu and mad cow disease and
Man,
Do you think he figured out what I'm getting
I
at?
fucking remember I just remember thinking back. I remember like an argument with Sam when I was just saying about the stupid about where he was saying, "Oh, but there's all this cool stuff they might do in Kingdom Hearts 4 or whatever," and I'm just like, Sam, you're talking about the series that decided to retcon it so that because Sora had an X on his clothing, the organization could track him at any given point.
Yeah.
It's like you
Yes.
could actually fuck off with this, because they will just
What do you mean it wasn't well
they will
thought out?
pull stupid shit right out of their ass.
If they'd gotten into a residential building,
Did they pull out? They pull out stupid shit out of their ass in each game to the point where even Toriyama's blushing.
And it's like, what about Aqua? She's got an X on her clothing.
Like, yeah, they forgot about
Track
that.
her too.
I mean, probably.
Spider-Man.
Just track everyone who's got the X's.
He did immediately go right to her once he decided it was time to implement his plan.
Get to a vantage point.
So, you know.
I thought that was just because she stayed in the exact same place for like 18 years.
Two of his flunkies still searching for the
Or-
doctor.
Well, you see, I broke my bones over the years until I could. Have you seen that one post where they're like Aqua broke all her bones and then they solidified into one? So every time she moves, she breaks her bones.
I mean,
Well, does that mean you just move normally? Well, I guess kind of. That's fucking stupid.
that was the story of how I lost my shirt.
No, see, Aqua was too busy running around with Oliver Queen. Then she decided it was time to get back to Kingdom Hearts.
And she decided she wanted to be on the franchise that was somehow better written. Somehow.
I mean, it's not really. I mean, it's not difficult.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but still.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts is at least able to fucking fill. Oh, that was the other thing me and him argued about. Is that he said he really liked all of the worlds, and I was like, even Frozen. He was hesitant.
Frozen's the world I was looking forward to because I like the movie, but as soon as I realized what they were doing, I was like, oh.
And then you play the world, you're like, wow, this is literally the worst. I hate this. And he's like, oh, but it had. He's like, his response is, oh, but it had good verticality. It's like, yeah, but Olympus Coliseum had better verticality. That was the first fucking stage. So, Frozen World sucks.
I thought he was gonna say
It
it has
does.
good music. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, but yeah, if you want to one-for-one exact copy of the movie, then yes, it has good music. But you
It's
know,
just let it.
Because, like, the reason why Tangle World is so fun is because you get, like, to do the thing that Kingdom Hearts, which makes Kingdom Hearts fun, is having characters having the characters from the movies interact with people that they've never met before and seeing how they'd react to them. That's what makes the game fun in terms of like the Disney worlds. And Frozen, they just decided to not do that because Disney is so protective of Frozen.
Well, the main theory is that they specifically didn't want to make Kingdom Hearts to pick them at the post of making quote-unquote badass Elsa.
Oh yeah, because they were making the badass Elsa in Frozen 2.
So they didn't want Kingdom Hearts to basically steal their thunder.
pretty much.
So you get Snowbro instead.
Yeah, which is really, really underwhelming. It's like, oh, he gets Marshmallow. Okay, fuck you.
I
Hey,
mean, he
but-
was pretty cool, but he doesn't join until the level is practically over.
Yeah, but he gets a really fucking sick moment in the boss fight though, where he just holds up the frozen sun. And you're
Man.
like, yes, no, bro. Okay, you get it. You can have it. You're the best part of this crappy level.
Because literally, like, what I figured they were gonna do when they were making it was I figured they were gonna make Anna or Olaf your party member. That's originally what I was expecting.
No, they just made Olaf a really shitty minigame.
Really hope she isn't sick.
Makes everyone love him even more.
Get to Harlem.
And they dubbed his voice out.
I like how people like Olaf so little, even though he's got so much merchandising that like they showed him like barely. They showed him like next to nothing in like the Frozen 2 trailers.
That's because the little kids like him. It's like the Minions thing, right? Is that nobody like above the age of like 6 likes them, but the kids like them.
Watanabe, master of suspense.
You'd be surprised how many adults I see with like Minion stuff.
Yeah.
They are pretty popular.
They're just shit rabbits, and the rabbits were shit rabbits.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Whatever.
Oh, so hi Electra, how you doing?
Well, it's not Electra.
No, Electro. Not Electra.
Gonna say,
She's not in
I
this
was gonna
game.
say, I actually remember there being any sort of reference to Electra.
I mean, at least it could. I mean, at least it's not Shocker again.
Transformers are charging the building, trapping the police
I
inside.
mean, you know, man, if only Shocker was back.
Yuri, complicated was an understatement.
Then we could chase into the ends of the earth.
Exactly.
Transformers to free your man.
Even if you manage that, they'll still help with you.
That's why I'm here, ready to serve all
I mean,
your
Elektra's so
electricity and
dumb.
related needs.
And I love that every sort of adaptation of Electro tries to make him this big, serious, like, threat, and the comic Electro is just this fucking idiot joke. Like, he's so
Actually, what's
easily
funny? Regardless of your opinion on Death Battle, they actually bring that up when they did the because they did Miles versus Static.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, like, you know, in terms of, like, Static's, like, yeah, Static's feats are higher than Elektra's, blah, blah, blah. And, like, and besides, Elektra's a fucking idiot. Like, they just outright go, like, yeah, Elektra's too stupid to use his powers properly anyway.
That's what I say.
Which is true.
Every other adaptation, it's like, oh, he's this incredibly, like, overpowered guy, he's, like, smart, he's this huge threat, and then in actual comics, it's like the... Oh no, he's gonna zap.
Comedy
he's gonna
relief.
zap Spider-Man, who's already got a rubber-insulated suit on, and then he gets punched in the
Because
face.
it's like, oh, Electro high again.
I mean, it could.
Let me
I mean,
wear
I
my
guess it
rubber
could be
suit.
worse. Electro could be the electrocutioner.
I'm sorry.
Well, have you never heard of the electrocutioner?
Maybe my remind me. Maybe my brain blocked it off, or maybe I don't know. I'm not quite
He's a shitty
sure.
Batman villain.
I
He uses shock gloves.
He's the guy who shows up in Arkham Origins
Yeah.
and like is defeated in one punch.
Oh, that fucking
Batman puts
guy.
gloves.
Okay.
And that's his entire role in the whole game.
Okay, I remember him now. Barely. I can't pick... Like, I don't remember what he even looks like, but I kinda remember, if that makes any goddamn sense.
I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna jump shot your start your heart, and I'm gonna kill you again. Punch. That's the end of that.
You don't need to remember what he looks like, you just need to remember that he's an idiot. He's called the Electrocutioner. Which is...
That name is so bad, if it was given to a better villain, it'd be kind of hilarious. It'd be kind of, like, wrap around to being good, if you know what I mean?
But it's not. It's given to the Electrocutioner. Fucking Electrocutioner. Man.
God damn, just that name. It's like I said, it's a name that could be so good, so bad it's good if it was given to a decent character. If only it wasn't copyrighted, it'd be great to steal it and give it to something else. You know, I will be fair to Origin. At least they made Copperhead a thing, where I can't remember the original
So
Copperhead.
it's basically a dude in a snake suit who bites people.
Because I can actually remember the Origin Copperhead, to be fair.
But do you remember the origin of the Wizzer?
Who?
Have you ever heard of the Wizzer, Dan?
Am I gonna regret
He's
this?
a Marvel. He's a Marvel superhero.
You're going to regret it very much, but it's too late. It can't be stopped now.
So he's a speedster called the Wizzer. Right? He was like around him. Well, he was around during the sort of World War II era. He wears a bright yellow suit, which really helps with his name. And I'm just gonna quote his wiki page that explains his origin. Robert L. Frank was the son of noted scientist Dr. Emil Frank. While on expedition in the Cameroon with his father, Robert was bitten by a cobra. A mongoose subsequently appeared and killed the cobra, but itself was severely injured in the fray. Dr. Frank, fearing for his son's life, recalled an old wives' tale and injecting the mongoose's blood into his son's veins. Dr. Frank died of a heart attack brought on by the shock and exertion, but Robert recovered and found that due to a strange reaction of his apparently mutant physiology to the mongoose blood, he had developed the ability to move at superhuman speed.
Why the fuck do they call him the Wizard?
Because the Flash was taken.
Okay, but you can give him a better name than the Wizard.
I mean...
Even the Mongoose would have been better!
If I just paste his picture for you.
We're trying to shelter civilians.
Let me look at this fucking thing.
He never does.
Where?
On my way.
I know
I'm sorry?
You're thinking, you're like, isn't that just the Flash but
Miles
yellow?
left a voicemail.
Pete. Hey, Pete. Hey, May wanted me to call
But he's powered
It's
by
funny
mongoose.
because there is a Flash that's yellow.
Yeah.
Mary Jane's here, but we're getting people out of
Oh, by the way, I can confirm because the video already got rendered and uploaded. I forgot to fucking add the Sarah Connor clip. Oops.
Damn it.
In last week's, I just remembered that because I'm looking at this.
Right
I'm like,
now.
I'm not gonna remember, Train.
Well, you know what you can add. You just.
I'm not even gonna remember to put the Wizzer in.
Say, just like make it, just like keep put the Wizzer in, but like keep putting more images of him in until the whole screen is full of the Wizzer.
I think is there even enough images of the Wizzer to do that?
People need to know about the Wizzer.
Just like moving around the screen like he's running.
All right, here's an idea. Monday, just text me to remind me, because by then I'll probably be editing the footage.
Fucking Wizzer.
Because I'll go the extra mile for the Wizzer.
Of course you will. He's powered by. He's got the super speeds that powered by Mongoose blood.
So stupid.
God.
To be fair, I'm playing Spider-Man, which is pretty dumb.
One thing if that was just his origin, but no, it's also the fact he's called the Wizzer.
And he's bright yellow.
Looks like that. Fucking Wizzer.
Why did they pick yellow and call him the Wizzer?
Why did they do any of the things?
There's no way that like the Wizzer wasn't like also slang back then for P.
Fuck. I specifically remember the Wizard because he features in the Spider-Man 90s cartoon briefly. Because they do this whole thing about reuniting like the 6 forgotten warriors who were people who were like basically the 1940s era of comic books, who specifically were created to like for propaganda purposes of battling Nazis. Like the Wizard. Fucking awful. And they were led by Captain America, to be fair.
Of course they were.
But you know.
And of course he's not gonna tell him. Actually, you know what? I like to imagine it's like that scene from Frozen where it's like, I'm gonna tell him. Don't you dare!
Who else was like?
That's the only part I thought was funny that involved Olaf was that scene, but specifically with somebody basically dunking on Olaf.
That was it. There was also the Destroyer, Miss America.
Wait, why'd they get a model to be a super?
Thunderer.
Seems a little weird.
And Black Marvel. Who
Huh.
wasn't actually.
I wonder what his.
Well, he wasn't black, except in the cartoon where they were like, oh no, but another guy put on his suit, a black guy put on his suit so that he could be the Black Marvel. I mean, it doesn't help that his suit is basically like Spawn's crossed with, or for the cartoon was Spawn crossed with like Black Panther. Fucking Black Marvel. But no, the Wizard is by far the worst.
I mean, his name is the Wizard, so kind of hard to not be the worst when your name is the Wizard.
Everyone loves the Wizard.
Genius.
Who? Wait, who? Who loves
You know
the
what
Wizard?
though? You'll never forget the Wizard now.
It's true. I will never forget about the Wizard now because you know, sad thing. Actually, you know what? It'd be funny if I did, and you did tell me before, and I just fucking forgot.
God.
Like if there's like in one of the other recordings, there's like one where he's like, "Oh yeah, the Wizard,"
I mean,
and I just fucking blocked it out of my mind.
I love that. I always knew that the Wizard was a thing, but it was only recently I was like, what actually is his origin? Oh, Mongoose blood. Okay, that makes sense. Fucking Mongoose blood. God.
I mean, how else are you gonna get your
That
Wizard
should
powers?
be how Bart Allen gets his Speed Force powers.
Explode.
Oh no, you've been like deprived of the Speed Force. What are we gonna do? I know, Mongoose blood.
With the blood of a mongoose. Oh, how high, Silver Sables?
There are easier ways to ask for an
Oh.
autograph.
Man, good up, Silver Sable.
Good idea to give these guys jetpacks.
I mean, yeah, she's a bit of a bit of an asshole here,
Until
but
after we
you
take
know.
out the convicts.
Sable's weird in that she's like most of the time an antagonist, but she's also a cool guy.
Feeling very 1984 right now? Oh, just me?
It's like never mind.
She runs a
Never
mercenary band
personal,
and doesn't
just
afraid of anything.
business.
like I said before, I like her more than Black Widow. They're similar, very similar,
Well,
but I've always liked her
because
more.
Black Widow's entire shtick is that she is a double agent. So like that is always the story with her. It's like, oh, Black Widow's working for the bad guys. Oh, she's working for the good guys, but she's secretly evil, or but she's secretly not. And it's like, I mean, well, at least Silver Sable, it's like, yeah, she's a merc, so she's just going to work with people who pay her money, but she also has a bit of a moral code.
So she'll do her own thing, and is more consistent as a character.
So she'll be,
for a comic book
yeah.
character.
So she and Spider-Man like come in conflict all the time, but then she'll be like, yeah, but you're right in this case, so I won't kill you. And we can all just get along.
For now.
But,
But later I'll probably be trying to kill you
yeah,
again.
well.
Or at least severely maim you.
No Mongoose blood will be able to save you, Spider-Man.
I have de-blooded the mongooses. You cannot use them to get Speed Force.
Man.
I mean, it's like they take away the Flash and speed, and it's like, and just to make sure you can't restore it, I've disabled every method of obtaining super speed. Yes, I even killed all the mongooses.
No, what they do is that they deposit the Flash on an Earth that has no mongooses. And that's how they guarantee you can never reclaim the Speed Force.
What if the Speed Force is generated by mongooses?
I mean, why not, right? How do you know in the chemicals that Barry Allen was exposed to when the lightning struck him, there wasn't a vial of mongoose blood?
Maybe the Speed Force is mongoose.
Exactly. Have you ever...
All right, DC Indoor Marvel, hire us. We're clearly the best writers.
That'll teach you to piss off international
I
mercenaries.
mean,
You can't do any worse than some of the people you've hired.
I mean, you say this as if everything we've described, like with the last sort of 5 minutes, is not better than Avengers vs X-Men.
This is why.
Like I said, hire us. We're clearly better than a lot of the writers you currently have
This
on
is why.
staff.
No, see, this is why we'll never get hired. Like if I ever have to work in anything involving the Flash somehow, like I'm going to feel compelled to bring up Mongoose blood at least once.
Get the building stuff out, but make
It's like how anyone would never ever have me write anything for Transformers because I'd almost certainly be like, so how about that car bomb yet?
Yeah, I know the feeling. I couldn't resist. I'd put, like, at the very least, I'd try and get a Carbonius sign hidden in the back of a shot.
Well, you see, what I would do is first, what you do is you gain their trust. You don't go completely bonkers and bring out Carbomia right away. No, you don't do that right away. You wait. You gain their trust. And then, when they've been lulled into a false state of safety, that's when you bring out Mongoose blood!
So, what, you do like a trilogy, the first two are completely played straight, and then the third one you're like, alright, fuck this, Carbomia, Prime is just all about singing the song to rip out spines. Spines.
Wait a minute, are we, wait, hold on, I'm confused, Train Man. Are we describing, hold on. Are we describing ourselves writing something, or are we describing Double Zeta?
I mean... Could be both. I mean, not being funny, if you write a Gundam, you'd just be G Gundam 2.0. No, sorry, 3.0. We've had G Gundam 2.0.
What was that?
Fighters try.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're not wrong. I probably would. Or what if I throw you a curveball and I just write like another like regular Gundam story?
So you see again.
So you see again for
Here's
the
another
10th
retelling
time.
of you see. The twist is that Shah is the good guy and Amuro is the bad guy.
No, we already did that. It was called Gurren Lagann.
Okay,
No.
so I'm pretty sure there's got to be some mech show around there that
It is.
basically it's like UC except Char is the main character.
It is. It's
I know
called.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann.
No,
Not Gurren Lagann. Code
I'm gonna
Geass.
say, no, you're
Why did I
right.
say Gurren Lagann?
Code Geass is where Char.
Why did I
is the
say
main
Gurren Lagann? What the
character.
fuck's wrong with
I
me?
don't know. But yeah, Code Geass is literally just reverse Gundam. So that's why whenever people are like, oh, it's so deep. It's like, yeah, because it's ripping off a show that's like.
It's like
20 years older
what if
than
the
it.
main character was Char and the antagonist was the one who was
Yeah,
the super.
I always say that Lelouch is basically like vanilla Char. He's just not nearly as compelling as
Well,
Char. They wanted to make Char, but they just
Well,
didn't
the problem
make
is he
Char.
suffers from the Miliardo problem of he's Char's like entire storyline condensed down into one series. So I like how Miliardo goes swiftly from, yeah, I just want to fight this guy to, yeah, I just want to destroy the world.
They also don't want to.
Because yeah, Char had the advantage of having two series in a movie to have his whole
Star
character
also had the
be
advantage
developed.
of having Lala, who could have been a mother figure to him.
I knew it. So we've hit all of our. So this is a good ending point because we're hour 5 in. We've hit all of our typical recording marks. We referenced Carbamia, zone defense, weird comic book obscure character.
I got a Mirakuru in earlier.
We got Mirakuru in. Let's see here. We just finished that with we just finished one with the whole fucking.
I mean,
the whole fucking Char Lala thing. Okay. Have we missed any? Have we missed any of our check
I hope
marks?
you appreciate Mongoose blood is just going to become a thing now.
I was gonna say,
I'm
oh
fine
no,
with
is
it.
Mongoose blood gonna be the next thing we bring up all the time?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh no.
So hold on. Okay, have we hit all of the boxes? Okay, we shat on this game's MJ. Okay, we did that. Oh fuck! I forgot one. There's one we didn't do. Iron Lad MCU. There we go. We got that one done. I think we got all of them now.
We did it.
We did it. The checklist is complete.
Bingo! Ha ha ha!
Wait a minute.
You
Oh,
all
wait, we
think
didn't-
you're so smart, but I won. Oh, wait a minute.
I'm gonna play that game at some point on the channel. I gotta do that at some point. What were you gonna say, Sabo, real quick?
I was gonna we didn't bring up CW, but then oh wait, we did with
Yeah, we did.
Mirakuru and
Yeah, we did.
and Willahala
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Arrow. So okay, we got all our boxes. We're good.
God.
Yeah, all of our boxes are checked.
I fucking
So,
hope Mirakuru's like the base chemical used to make Mirakuru was Mongoose blood.
You know, my only wish for this channel to be popular is just to get to this video where people start making their own checklists. Then we get here and they're like, "How were they already aware?"
No, I just want to get a point where we can make Mongoose blood ship merch.
I would love
Mongoose
that.
blood gives
Anyway,
speed.
guys. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed Mongoose Blood. I'll see you next time for more Mongoose Blood. Have a good day.